I found the one. He makes me smile.
Hey guys, what's up? It's me again, Wicked, your favorite weirdo. And today, I just wanted to discuss a really fun topic. It's Cutie's favorite. It's regarding her marriage. First, let's have a reminder of what a misyar marriage is. And yes, they do occur in Kuwait, even though Cutie would like you to believe that they don't. Let's go on to have a few words from our girl, Cutie.
I'm not gonna wait around anymore for things to be perfect, for things to be just right, for me to be just perfectly happy to make a move anymore. I'm just going to take life by the horns and just go all in. I'm just all in right now. I'm all in. I have entered a serious relationship with a wonderful man who comes from an Islamic nation.
I found the one. He makes me smile. He makes me happy. Not only for a while.
And out of respect and devotion to one man, I choose to wear this in respect for myself, respect for my partner.
Love is amazing. It makes us human. It softens the heart. And it makes us weak, but strong, all at the same time.
Tell them. I talked to you for hours today about everything that worries me, and he just makes me feel really, secure.
To have someone to love you for who you are is a gift from God.
And really, all of the worries that I was talking about today on the ferry were pretty much just melted away. So,
being loved for being your true self is so freeing. I never have to pretend. I never have to bend or break. I can just be. We can just be us.
okay, here's the thing. Salah, can you just tell them? You know about my past. He knows. I've shown him everything. Everything. I've opened my soul to this person. Everything. Every anxiety. Everything. So don't worry about it.
We can be happy. We can be sick. We can be weird and silly. We can be imperfect and yet love each other as if we were anything but perfect.
My love is a Syrian Muslim man in Kuwait. So I'm wearing this out of respect and just, so I found somebody who I just really just fell for very fast.
I feel safe and protected.
My love. My one and only.
Billions of people on Earth, and I'm the only one you see with your heart, not only your eyes. I let you in, and you let me in, and now let our perfect lives begin. Because this life is perfect, Alhamdulillah. Because we are where we are meant to be. This I know in my heart and soul. When I feel lost and scared, you are always strong and confident. I can lean on you and find peace. I came to the Middle East to live my life with you. Our sacrifices were great, but our love was greater. And God is greatest. He brought us together, and only He can break us apart.
Well, hello again. It's me, Wicked, and I'm going to come at you with all seriousness today. I'm going to put all jokes aside. I want to approach this subject with sensitivity because it does involve talking about religion. I myself am evil and godless and wicked, but I know many of you are not, and I do respect people for believing what they believe and having whatever faith they have. I don't want to step on that or mar that or bring that down by talking about this subject, but because of what I personally believe, I watch a lot of anti-religion content, and I also watch a lot of just religious content in general. And I was watching a creator that I enjoy and came across a story within the Islamic community that is kind of blowing up right now. And even though it has absolutely nothing to do with Chantal, I don't want to misconstrue that at all. These people do not know her. She does not know these people. But the situation that was unfolding gave me a little bit of an aha moment in regards to our cutie. And I think if you just watch the situation and very carefully kind of pick it apart like I did, you'll kind of see the parallels that I drew. You can just see what you think.
Today, we bring forward one of the most troubling stories we've encountered, because the man at the center of it isn't just a figure in our ummah. He's a global personality who commands influence, wields scholarship, and yet, behind closed doors, denies a marriage he once entered. This is the case of Sister Aisha. Her real name is concealed for protection, her voice unshaken, her truth revealed.
I never thought that one day I'm going to have to come out publicly on social media and speak about something like this. People who work for Islam and to protect our religion have always been more than family to me. And Muhammad Hijab in specific, I had a lot of respect and trust in him because of how scholars are praising him worldwide, and obviously because of his position and his knowledge and all of that. I'm going to share this today not because I want to, but because I have to. And I take an oath in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that I'm only going to be sharing the truth. And my purpose is for the truth to prevail and for justice to be served and for there to be accountability, and that we don't give unconditional impunity to our elites, because this is not how our religion has been preserved. This is the story of my marriage to Muhammad Hijab and how his actions that he claimed are permissible by Allah have completely destroyed my life. At that stage, I didn't know if he was divorced or not, until he asked for my hands. Formally, he told me, would you like to consider me as a husband? He told me it's going to be polygyny. At that stage in my life, I wasn't ready for polygyny. When he proposed to me, he told me it's polygyny. I asked him to give me some time to pray istikhara. I wasn't sure, but when I thought about it, I thought he's a good man. I think from what I see and from how the scholars are praising him, he is going to be capable of taking care of a big family. He is qawwam, he is a guardian, he is knowledgeable, he is religious, he is pious, and he is praiseworthy. Further to that, he was pushing the idea and reassuring me that I'm going to be very happy with him. Reassured me so many times and told me that I should never worry that he's not going to be keeping this family safe. He told me that he's ready and he's going to be taking care of everything. So there were so many things I took into consideration based on which I built my trust. Muhammad Hijab was trustworthy for me 100% for so many reasons. It's not only that he gave me his words and he's famous. I took time. I thought about it very deeply. I ticked boxes, a very long list of boxes. His mother, his care of his family, the fact he was able to keep his family together for a very long time with his kids, and he memorized the whole Quran. He's in the front line of the Dawah. He's praised. There is a testimony of hundreds of scholars around the world who are praising him. He was placed in a position of marriage counseling, divorce in the Islamic Council. There were so many things. It was not for me just like the emotional element of it, because he expressed his feelings to me, but I had feelings for him too. It was not just that. For me, it was a very big, rigorous process that I took, based on which, at that stage, whatever promise he would make, I would trust him. إن قالها فقد صدق. Let's go ahead with this. I am ready. Don't worry. We're going to go ahead with this time. Let's just make things quick. And he was rushing up the process. Obviously, I told him, you have to talk to my father again. And like, it was quite hard this time, especially that he told me he's not ready to make a big wedding back in my country. I told him that's okay. He said, I am not ready. I'm not able to go and meet your dad in person for personal reasons. And I trusted him. He said, let's do this over Zoom. It's actually halal, and you just have to convince your dad. But he told me I'm not ready to show my face. I was confused. I told him my dad is not going to agree to this. My father told him that my daughter and her child go together and they are a trust around your neck, an amana. I told him, don't worry, they're going to be in very safe hands. After the nikah, Muhammad Hijab wanted a sex marriage. He wanted a hotel marriage. I didn't stop there. There was more to come. He told me, listen, just act like a girlfriend. We're going to have like a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship. Don't worry, it's halal. We're married now. He wasn't asking about my rent, my provision. He never asked about those and never offered to pay for them. Then he went on a trip, a Dawah trip, and he told me that he was not ready to argue about my family situation. He said, don't worry, just delay it. We're going to talk about it when I come back. So we carried on. We had like interactions like a husband and wife, and I was waiting for him to come back in order for him to talk to my family and get their blessings. And I told them, my father is going to ask me now if we did go ahead with the marriage. I have to give him a reply. He told me, just lie, delay it, tell him we didn't go ahead with it yet. I was stuck because I can't talk to my father and tell him, well, the man I told you to blindly trust and sign a contract with him for marriage doesn't want to talk to you, because he's Islamically not obliged to. You're going to get used to the situation. It's halal, there is nothing wrong with it. Why are you making things difficult? Don't worry, I'm going to try not to get you pregnant. This is a real relationship. I'm going to keep this like this for the rest of our life. I told him, are you going to change this for what you promised me at a later time? He said, no, this arrangement works the best for me, and I have no intention of changing it. As soon as he said that, I asked for divorce. He confirmed that he had no intention of paying the bills or the rent. He said, you didn't ask me for that when we were getting married. He said that he just wanted to have full discretion. Everything is up to him. He will never change the hotel ever. He will never speak to my family ever. He's not going to be paying for anything. And we're not going to have kids. Not going to be taking care of my daughter. Nothing. We're never going to have a home. Every word he uttered was trauma for me. Every single one of them harmed me, carved wounds inside my heart. I was sick. I was traumatized. I was shocked. I was not ready to hear that. I asked for divorce, and he gave it to me. And he was very angry. He said, why are you refusing something that is halal? This is misyar. Why are you not accepting it? He was very angry. He said, what am I going to tell my friends now? And I was confused. You have completely destroyed my life. My emotions, my mental health, my physical health, my social interactions. I broke. There is no one to take care of my daughter at all. I was completely broken. Many years of interactions, nice promises, speaking to my father and promising him many nice things, telling me that there is love in this and so on. And at the end, that's what I ended up with. In our final interaction, he was like, look, that arrangement of meeting in hotels is what I was looking for. And I thought you are the best suitor for that kind of marriage. It is halal. And that's the only arrangement that works for me. And I'm really sorry, but that's all what I wanted. He called it sex marriage. He called it a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship. And all of these things were mentioned after he got married to me. I never, ever imagined these kind of actions would come from him, ever. Anyone, but not him. So he followed a list of Islamic rulings, as he claims, and nothing of what he did was actually haram. It's Islamically all right to give false promises to a woman you intend to get married to. You're Islamically not obliged to fulfill those promises. You are not obliged Islamically to speak to your in-laws. You don't even have to ask for their blessings after the nikah and congratulations. It's Islamically okay to live in a hotel. The husband can go to wherever he wants with his wife. He's not obliged to pay for anything. He's not obliged to provide because I didn't need provision. It's Islamically okay not to have kids. The Sahaba used to avoid having kids. It's Islamically okay to keep everything secret, to preserve the marriage, even if you are to show up in the hotel separately and come out from it separately. The shuyukh I reached out to them made me even more traumatized. Some of them said, he is right. All of these things are halal, as long as the 4 pillars of nikah were met. You can't know what his intention is, but his intention is actually very clear. This is a no-string marriage. He said that with the intention of divorce. He articulated that. He encouraged others to go for these options. He openly and proudly said there is nothing wrong with marriage with the intention of divorce. And through deception, because actually a man is not obliged to Islamically fulfill his promises. In your falsehood, in your oppression, in your transgression, I do ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to pay me back for that. I will never forgive you. I would like you to bring forward your evidence, and I want to challenge you to mubahala. Your sin is not a sin that has to be concealed. This is not something you did between you and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in hiding and you repented. This is not what you have done. This is something that you have doubled on. This is something you were proud of. This is something you spread. This is something you encouraged others to follow. This is something you continued with the McDonald's nikah. This is something you have articulated based on Islamic texts and from our own religion. أقسم لك بالله يمينا يا محمد يا حجاب. أقسم لك بالله يمينا. Wallahi, because I know that I'm talking about it is the truth. So I'm calling you out to these 2 things. Number 1, I'm calling you out for mubahala. Come out. Come out, give me just that mubahala, that dua. Give me just one dua and then disappear. If you are ready to do this, I would like to tell you something. I give you full permission to go ahead and file defamation case against me in the UK. 100%. You destroyed my life. I had da'wah projects. I was working with 10 sisters. I was doing my da'wah work. I was taking care of myself. I was ready to get married to a real man. Someone who's really going to be caring for me and my daughter. I wanted to have kids. I had ambition. I had emotions. I had love. I had trust. I had belief. You destroyed absolutely everything. You took away my health. You took away everything from me. And I'm going to tell you this. I am here. Come and face me. I am ready to come out for mubahala, and I am going to be ready to go to court with whatever you would like to accuse me of. If you would like to go ahead with that, wallahi, أفسدت علي دنياي وأفسدت عليك آخرتك.
What you just heard is not fiction. It is not AI. It is the testimony of a real sister. It is the living trauma of a sister, a Muslimah, one whose story is backed by screenshots, messages, and even the testimony of a well-known sheikh. And yet, the man at the center of it, Muhammad Hijab, continues to speak from pulpits, to find it humorous to perform marriages over WhatsApp and a McDonald's meal as the mahr, and to promote ideologies that leave women like Aisha discarded and humiliated, left with a scar of betrayal, one that she will have to carry for the rest of her life.
I've gotten people married in 1 minute and 60 seconds because I was busy. Honestly, someone comes to the office and say, listen, I need to get married, this and that. I say, listen, I need to go to the toilet. So this is going to have to be a quick one. I tell you the truth, I've even gotten people married on WhatsApp. And now there's a difference of opinion on the matter. But I was driving and this guy, he called me and said, look, I'm going to commit haram. He goes, I've got 2 witnesses ready on this WhatsApp group. Can I add you and you do the thing? So I brought them in. I said to the woman, I said to her, listen, this guy's probably going to leave you. I know this guy. And he was like, what are you doing? You're here to try and make things easy for me. I said, but it's not fair on the poor woman because we know that you're a pernicious man. You're a khabith. And I said, what's the mahr? And the guy said, you don't want to hear this one. This is before McDonald's was on the boycott list. He goes, I'm going to give her a meal in McDonald's. I said, sister, don't do this. I said, at least have something. No, she said, I don't mind, I don't care, whatever. It happened, and he did, in fact, divorce her, unfortunately. But I said, I told you so, and that was it.
Subhanallah. He describes the man as pernicious and khabith, or vile, yet still decides to marry off this girl to him. And he gets a hard laugh from all of this, knowing full well that a marriage of this nature will result in a destructive ending. In his own words, he says to the woman that this guy is probably going to leave you, and yet he still performs the nikah. What kind of ignorant monstrosity is this? Has he no shame in parading around and boasting about what is nothing short of a disastrous drive-through nikah?
So I know that was really long. Sorry about that, but I felt like it was really important to include everything that I included. And if you were listening carefully like I was, you probably drew a lot of parallels between their story and Salah and Chantal's story. One of the first things that I noticed that Aisha was talking about that made me think about Cutie, because again, I was watching this interview completely unrelated to Gore World. It's not related to Gore World. But when she mentioned getting married over WhatsApp, that really kind of sent out the alarm bells for me and made me start kind of thinking about the possibility that Chantal and Salah are entered into a similar type of marriage. And I guess we'll never know whether or not she was fully in the know and agreed upon it before entering into it, or if she was maybe tricked like Aisha was. But if you look on the screen, there's a definition that may bring a lot of answers to us, or, might just help us speculate further. It could be that Chantal and Salah both realized, hey, we're both having trouble finding partners. Let's enter into this marriage of convenience together. That could be one thing. Another thing is that maybe Salah sold Chantal a beautiful vision of marriage, and she was really excited, and maybe when she got out there, he let her know it's not going to be that way. We're going to be like boyfriend, girlfriend. You're going to be a hotel wife. I'm going to come and go as I please. Maybe he does have other wives. I don't know. It's all just speculation. Another thing I found interesting was the mention of, this is not to be funny, the mention of the McDonald's mar. A mar is basically a dowry that you give to the bride. And many times it's for her own security, in case there was a divorce or an emergency or a death or something. So the fact that it is actually possible to give a woman a fast food meal as a mar is ridiculous, but also the fact that it's possible. Did he take her out to Burger King for a mar? And then another thing that I also just can never forget, is that you can't just go hang out with a man alone in the Middle East, and when she first started talking about Salah, she starts talking about how she's going to go visit him. And unless she went and stayed with another woman and just visited Salah supervised, it is illegal. So I speculated that possibly they got married over WhatsApp before she even went on her first visit there. And that's why they were able to, film together, hang out together alone. And, they did live streaming and stuff together. It's all very weird. We've all made so many speculations. This is just another one of them. But when I was watching this story about Aisha and Muhammad, though it's completely unrelated, they couldn't be any more different than Chantal and Salah. There were still certain things that I drew parallels. And the fact that Muhammad is such a high up figure in, the Nation of Islam, he does Dawah work, he's a PhD, and the fact that he still took it upon himself to trick a woman into this type of marriage, it does kind of show that it is possible, it does happen, And, you know, what is stopping Salah and Chantal from doing that? What is stopping Salah from doing that to Chantal? And I feel like if you listen to Aisha, like, she was a very devout woman, and she prayed on her decision and tried to approach it very mindfully and carefully. And, you know, she was still tricked. And Chantal was very willing and looking for a marriage and a man, and I think more pliable. So what do you guys think? Leave it in the comments down below. If you've made it this far, thank you so much. I appreciate your time. It's Wednesday. Keep it wicked, keep it weird, and I will talk to you later. Bye.
He followed a list of Islamic rulings, as he claims, and nothing of what he did was actually haram. It's Islamically all right to give false promises to a woman you intend to get married to. You're Islamically not obliged to fulfill those promises. You are not obliged Islamically to speak to your in-laws. You don't even have to ask for their blessings after the nikah and congratulations. It's Islamically okay to live in a hotel. The husband can go to wherever he wants with his wife. He's not obliged to pay for anything. He's not obliged to provide because I didn't need provision. It's Islamically okay not to have kids. The Sahaba used to avoid having kids. It's Islamically okay to keep everything secret to preserve the marriage, even if you are to show up in the hotel separately and come out from it separately. The shuyukh I reached out to them made me even more traumatized. Some of them said, he is right. All of these things are halal, as long as the 4 pillars of nikah were met. You can't know what his intention is, but his intention is actually very clear. This is a no-string marriage. He said that with the intention of divorce. He articulated that. He encouraged others to go for these options. He openly and proudly said there is nothing wrong with marriage with the intention of divorce. And through deception, because actually a man is not obliged to Islamically fulfill his promises.
You can listen to Aisha's full statement on the YouTube channel Behind Veils, and I will link it in the description.